Hey guys, welcome back to Kiwi Classics and Customs. I'm going to keep walking because we've got such a long way to go. We've got 18.5 feet of 62 Cadillac DeVille convertible here, and it's a little darling. It's white on white with the red interior. Gorgeous car, got fabulous looking hubcaps. Now these were not a super rare car. They made about 15,500 of them in 62 in the convertible. So, and yet you don't see many of them. So I don't know where they all went. They came with a 390 V8, 4-speed automatic transmission, Hydromatic from the factory, which was nice. Not, you know, most of the other cars were running 2 and maybe 3 speeds at that point in time. So yeah, just a gorgeous car. Factory here, electric everything, as you can imagine, just loaded to the gills. But come and have a look at the interior. It's you know, it's just a sweetheart. It really is. They're just so much excess, you know, which was just the name of the game back then. And a really handsome car. I think it's a little lower than they were originally, but I think that's just a time and age thing. I expect they rode a little higher than this when they were new, but let's see. There we go. Yeah. So this is fairly well untouched from what I can see. It's, you know, it's got the factory air on it. They have added an aftermarket booster and dual master cylinder to it, which is a safety thing. Yeah, but it's pretty well unmolested. But just little Cadillac things, like most cars had 2 horns, a high and low tone. Cadillacs have got 3. Why would you only have 2? It's a Cadillac, got to have 3. You know, it's like this is the cream of the cream. And just the amount of chrome. I mean, re-chroming this car would just make advanced plating's year. that would really get them going. So yeah, we've got a couple of things to do to it. The passenger door's not shutting properly, wants to fly open, so we've got to get to the bottom of that, and he wants us to just get it up on the rack and go through it, make sure there's a few different shops have worked on it over the years, and he just wants to make sure everything's like it should be so he can take it cruising and not have to worry about it. So let's get this up on the rack. This is going to make the rack work a little. They weighed like 4,600 pounds. They're a pretty heavy car. So and apart from that, I'm getting rained on, so it's time to get indoors. Right, see you inside. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. All right, well, there we go. Let's look at the bottom of the quarters. Ooh, they're all nice. Got all the factory spot welds on it, and little dimples you can see, that's nice. Trunk floor looks okay. You can see the original exhaust mounts here. So I guess the original pipes would have come out a little bit closer in maybe, or come out at an angle or something, but someone's changed the mounting system on the exhaust. Ooh. It's looking a little perished, isn't it? Might want to do something with that. Let's see. Yeah, well, this side's just dripping a bit. This thing. This side's just as nice. As far as being rust free. What have we got going up in the wheel arches? Huh. That's an interesting way of doing the brakes. They've got a rubber flexible. Normally you have a rubber flexible line from the chassis to the centre of the diff, and then a hard line out to the wheels. This is set up with a flexible line at the wheel, which is a little different than 99% of cars. So, but that's okay, as long as it stops. Yeah, that side's the same. So it must hard line in and tee somewhere up there. It's got the, well, it's not really, it's got the lower links and then the triangulated, almost like a lower suspension arm, but up on top of the differential. Someone has put an electric pump in it up here, if you can see. We've got a little electric fuel pump going here, which you can actually hear it running when the car's idling, because it's pretty quiet. I think I'd have stuck with a mechanical pump if it was up to me. Man, check out this. Actually, I was kind of fascinated with the hoses being here. Look at the size of these drums. They are massive. And these are 15-inch wheels, and that wheel is full of rear drum. That's got to be a 12-inch rear drum at least. That's a massive brake drum, but a massive car, you know. The X-frame chassis, which was very popular with GM back in the day, in the early 60s. So yeah, you got a carrier bearing here. This, when the suspension droops, it's actually touching here, which I guess was just a factory thing. Seems to be in order. It's a pretty solid cars. Yeah, we got some signs of repairs here. We got some pinholes here with a little bit of fiberglass resin poking through. So someone's been under the carpet and tried to kind of get a little more life out of these floor pans. It's a little crunchy. Not sure whether you guys can hear that or not. But you know, on the outer rockers here, that's perfect. You know, again, all the factory spot welds in place. There's no swelling in the seams, so that's really good. The little tiny bit of Bondo in the bottom of the front fenders, just kind of what you kind of expect on a car this age, unless it's been like dry stored its entire life. Got a little bit of rust happening up here. Again, the fiberglass resin is showing, and actually if you look closely you can actually see I'm not going to pick it up on camera, but you can actually see a couple of little bits of fiberglass weave poking it through. You can kind of see it up here, a little bit of fiberglass strands you can see. Floor on the back here is solid. It's probably due to water leaks. These old girls, the convertibles, they just leaked from brand new. They leaked. Yeah, the sides had the resin treatment as well. You see the resin dribbling through and a little bit of a hole here. So you can get floor pans for these things though, so that's not that hard a fix on a car that's this nice. So I'm okay with that. That'd be nice if it didn't have anything. It has got disc brakes on the front. It shouldn't have disc brakes on the front. They came with drums. They first came out with, they didn't come out with discs until 67, so it looks very factory. It doesn't look like your typical aftermarket kit. So I gotta wonder, and I don't know, if that's not like a 67 or 68 or something like that Cadillac that will interchange, because there's no laser cut brackets holding anything on. Everything's cast. Everything's seems to be exactly like factory looking, but it's not factory on this car. Yeah, what else have we got? This is an interesting exhaust. They didn't have because of the X-frame, they didn't have a lot of room for the exhaust, so they run here and they go outside the rail and kind of follow that X and out the back. But someone's put like a balance pipe here. Now I don't honestly know whether that was they've copied a Cadillac setup on it, but that's really all. Yeah, that's a balance pipe. Really, that's all its purpose. It's factory dual exhaust, but yeah, it's got that in it. Sorry about that. Yeah, what else is going on with this old girl? It's pretty darn clean. If you sneak a look up here, someone's updated the ignition, and it's quite clever. They've hidden the MSD box up inside the inner fender. It's pretty dry up there, so it's going to survive up there. But yeah, nice way of modernising an ignition without having that hot rod looking box inside the engine bay. So that's nice. But all in all, it's a pretty nice car. Everything's doing what it's meant to be doing. We'll have a closer look. We might whip the wheels off and just have a quick visual inspection on the brakes, make sure they're okay. But other than that, I'm really not seeing too much wrong with this old girl. All the bushings are in good shape. There's that little fuel filler neck which we'll probably throw a new piece of hose at, just to be sure, because it's going to start leaking soon, and right at the back like that, when you accelerate, all the fuel surges to the back, so it's gonna put gas on the ground. So we'll do that. Other than that, what a lovely car. So we're going to get onto that. We'll fix that door, fix that fuel hose, and get this old girl out for a test drive. All right, back in a moment. Okay, so we got those rubber hoses replaced. Rest of the car looked great underneath. We've got that passenger door latch working properly. Steve's leaning against it now, so if we hadn't got it working, he'd be on the ground. So yeah, it's not a glorious sunny Tennessee day, but we got to give it a road test. So here we are. Wipers are kind of shuddering a little bit, making a funny noise, but hey, I don't think it gets driven in the rain too often. So now, Steve, were you telling me these things have two different drive modes? Or is that your Oldsmobile?
Well, I know that this does say it has two drive modes.
Yeah.
The Oldsmobile has, full drive, or I don't know if you kind of say like today's overdrive.
Right.
And then the other drive just holds it in a lower gear and doesn't let it go into final gear.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what it does. It's in. Right. The first drive. It doesn't mark it as we like drive 1 or drive 2. It's just got two positions of drive and a low. So we'll put it in the first one you get to and see what it does. Some of the Ford transmissions, they would, depending which drive you put it in, they wouldn't use low gear. Like first gear, they'd take off in second, like a Power Glide. Not sure. Don't get to drive too many 62 Cadillacs, you know. Come on, people. There we go. Yeehaw. Certainly quiet, isn't it?
Yes, very quiet.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have the sun out and the top down, but hey. Customer wants his car back, we can't just hang on to it until the sun comes out again. Very cruisy ride, isn't it?
Damn, very quiet.
Got a little bit of pull. I mean, they're pretty fairly big engine, 390. I think they were around 300-ish horse. Yeah, this is a lovely, smooth riding car. You know it's quiet when you can hear the raindrops hitting the roof. That's doing everything right, but it really wasn't doing anything wrong when it came in, to be fair. We've just done those two little things, but just wanted to share this big old girl with you guys, you know. Top down and sun out would definitely be the way to go. Got the little turn signals on the front corners. You see that on the camera? Just should be able to.
Yeah, you can barely see it.
Yeah. Wow. Brakes are very good. second position of drive and see what that does. Okay. Well, that's actually a slight rattle in the dash. I thought it was detonating a little bit, but it's actually going out. So that was... It spun the wheels pretty easy. It is wet. Just try that. I'm not sure what the difference is.
It just doesn't, like I said, I think it doesn't let it get into its final gear.
Okay.
It holds it in a lower gear.
Ah, yeah, it does. So you click it down. Okay, so it's behaving like the Oldsmobile. So it doesn't get into that fourth gear.
And I think I've heard that it will finally get into gear like above 70.
Oh, wow.
It forces it to change.
You become very aware of how wide it is when you're on this little narrow back road. It's very cool though. Right, well, there you go. 62 Cadillac Series 62. The second one we've had in the shop in a month. And I haven't dealt with one previously, so it's funny how things work out, and both from the local area. So, kind of cool. These old girls are actually hiding out there. Alright guys, well, we're going to take it back to the shop, put it away, give it a dry bed for the night, and the owner can come pick it up in the morning. Alright fellas, take it easy, and we'll see you on the next one.